In our last video, we were in Punta Gorda, Florida. We checked out the multiple parks along the waterfront, Fisherman's Village, the historic downtown, and of course, some of the street art. In this video,
we're in Venice, Florida.
For context, we visited Venice on a Friday in April of 2024. In this video, you'll see us explore the historic downtown, check out some of the local parks, visit Venice Beach, and finally take a stroll along the waterfront.
We started our journey on Miami Avenue, which runs parallel to Venice Avenue, the main downtown street. Venice is nicknamed the Shark Tooth capital of the world, and they hold an annual Shark's Tooth Fest. This town was settled in the 1800s and was originally known as Horse and Chase due to a carriage-shaped tree formation that marked the spot for fishermen. However, that apparently didn't roll off the tongue because its name was changed to Venice in 1888 due to the many natural waterways.
Water, yes. Canals, no. So if you're looking for something like the famous Venice canals, you won't find them here, at least in this part of the city.
In 1925, the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers arrived in this area, and their goal was to build a planned retirement community for its members, and Venice was officially incorporated in 1927. However, that dream died in 1929 with the stock market crash, and the Brotherhood actually went bankrupt. However, today it is a popular retirement spot, with 62% of residents being over the age of 65. Current population is about 25,000.
And here we just turned on to Venice Avenue, which is the heart of the downtown. When applicable, we like to compare cities that we visited. This definitely had a more of a Naples feel to us than any of the places we visited a little more north.
Naples, Florida, that is, not Naples, Italy.
Yeah, definitely. Like Naples, and actually Punta Gorda, which was the video we released before this one, this city is immaculate. The landscaping is spectacular.
This alley is known as Founders Walkway. The mural is dedicated to the 4 founding physicians of the South Sarasota County Memorial Hospital, which opened its doors December 1951 with 14 beds.
And another perfect example of why we're always preaching to go beyond the main streets. Look in the alleyways and the side streets. You never know what kind of cool stuff you'll find.
The plaque shown here commemorates the Ennis Arcade and Hotel Valencia. We'll see it from the other side of the street, and I'll give some more details then.
Again, wow with the landscaping.
The architecture and many of the restaurants capitalize on the name. A lot of it is Italian themed down here.
We spotted some murals ahead to the right, as well as a drawbridge that we wanted to check out, so we headed in that direction. As coincidence would have it, the drawbridge was up while we were in this area, so we wanted to check it out.
This is one of a few bridges in the area. The city of Venice includes what locals call Venice Island, which is the part of the city accessed via bridges over artificially created intercoastal waterways.
We noticed while filming this, there appeared to be a trail down below, so that's a place we'll visit later in the video. So here we've returned to Venice Avenue, and now we're exploring it from the opposite side of the street. This section reminded us a lot of the city of Winter Park, where one side of the road was retail and the other side was a park.
The white building across the street is the Ennis Arcade and Hotel Valencia that I mentioned earlier. It was built in 1926 by the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers, and this hotel is the only remaining in-town hotel of those built in the 1920s. Here we're crossing Nassau Street, which has a bit of interesting history. The first recorded flight into Venice was in 1927 to bring a crate of fresh strawberries to Hotel Venice, but because there was no airport, he landed here on Nassau Street.
Here I'm just panning to the other side so you can get a better look. In our couple years of making these videos, we've learned a lot. One of those is, especially in these tight downtowns, is to make sure you walk both sides of the street, because it's a very different perspective from each. Now for our final stretch, we're on Tampa Avenue.
Across the street there is the San Marco Hotel, which was built in 1926 by the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers. However, it closed in 1928 due to their financial problems and sat empty until it was purchased in 1932 by the Kentucky Military Institute. You did hear that correctly, Kentucky Military Institute, which is located in Frankfort, Kentucky. But back in 1906, they decided they needed a winter campus in Florida to improve the cadets' health and academic performance by decreasing sick leave. Originally, that was on the Atlantic coast, but it moved to Venice in 1932 when they acquired the San Marco Hotel and Hotel Venice. The campus closed in 1970. So we're really enjoying Venice. We started in the historic downtown, which is quite charming. We're gonna take a break for lunch now, and then we understand there's a walking trail along the waterway, so we're gonna check that out after we eat lunch.
So as often happens when you're traveling without a plan, we came across this really cool park on our way back to the hotel room, so we had to get out and take some shots for you.
Yeah, West Blaylock Park was really cool. It has over 80 species of trees and palms that are identified with informational signs, and it also includes the Monty Andrews Arboretum.
And right across the street from the park is the Venice Museum.
The building that houses the museum was originally built as the Triangle Inn in 1927, where it served as a boarding house until 1934, then served as a private home and was finally converted to 6 apartments in the 1950s. The city acquired the property in 1991 and renovated it to house the museum.
After lunch and checking into our hotel, we wanted to check out Venice Beach, and on the way to the beach, we found yet another park.
This is a replica of the main entrance to the Venice Army Air Base, which opened in 1943 and really helped revitalize the area, which had been hit hard by the Great Depression. At its peak, the training facility housed about 6,000, and an estimated total of 20,000 men were trained there. It closed in 1945 at the end of World War II. And this building and sail pavilion at Venice Beach were built in 1963.
And here we are getting our first look at Venice Beach. If you watch our videos, you know we don't show a lot of beach shots, and the reason is pretty simple. They kind of all look the same. So we're going to be very brief, show you a quick little look, and then we're going to take off to a better part of the waterfront, or at least a more interesting part. So earlier when we were on the drawbridge, we looked down and saw what looked like a path. And here we are directly below that same bridge on that path.
The Venetian Waterway Park Trail is 5 miles of biking and walking trails along each side of the intercoastal waterway shown here. It also connects to the Legacy Trail at the historic Venice train depot, which you'll see across the water in a few minutes. That creates over 20 miles of connected trails.
We really applaud cities that take advantage of their waterfront. Like Punta Gorda, this is a really nice trail. It straddles both sides of the river, and it's pedestrian friendly, bicycle friendly, and the views are just spectacular. Across the river is the old train depot, as well as a boat launch park. Yeah, before the comments roll in, I guess technically this may not be a river, it's an intercoastal waterway, but for the sake of this video, I'm calling it a river.
We're about to see some murals that focus on different aspects of the history of Venice, but I have to point out the things on the circus mural. If you watched our Sarasota video, you saw that there are ties from the circus to Florida. This mural pays homage to the fact that Venice was the original home to the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus Clown College, as well as winter headquarters. Their college trained 1,400 clowns between 1968 and 1993 when it moved away from Venice. It was tuition-free, taking 30 to 50 students per year for the 8 to 13-week course. Of note, Penn Jillette of Penn & Teller graduated from that clown college in 1973. And here's the site of the original airport that opened in 1939.
It seems like a better plan than landing in the street. All right, with that said, it's time to wrap this one up. All right, we've been to Venice, Italy, Venice, California, and now Venice, Florida. What do you think of Venice, Florida?
I like Venice, Florida. Venice, Italy's probably still at the top, but this is a very cute town. Loved it. Love that you have bike trails along the river here, and then you can go out to the Gulf. It's great. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful town. We did no research, of course, as usual. I expected there to be canals.
Right.
In fairness, the other two have not so much canals, but definitely a lot of water.
For sure.
Rivers and inlets and the bay and the Gulf. So it's really cool, and I give this an absolute thumbs up.
I agree.
All right, get off the couch. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.